I'd like to welcome each and every individual to Voices of Integrity podcast. And we're in the segment for changing education today around the world. And so we have a homeschooling mom on that homeschooled her children, and she has got her bachelor's degree in elementary education. We have an Amish teacher on today. And so she taught in the Amish school districts. And then we have Kernith on that has a master's degree and has been in education in inner city for really all of her life. And then we have two students on, one that's in their 20s and one that's a little older than that. And they struggled with education when they were in school. Um, Actually, maybe three. I don't think I struggled as much as Ben did, or as much as Mark did, but I did a fair amount. And so, what I'd like to do is just a short podcast, and then we'll go into a longer podcast. And it's like people will say they want things. So, we were talking in the previous podcast about our superpowers, on how every human being's created in God's image. So every human being has a superpower and how to discover that. And so a lot of times this is a model from Tom Coons, who's the most recent past president of Century 21. It's the largest real estate franchise in the world. And so he went ahead and has a model. It's a 5-step model to get what you want. The first is to know really what you want. Two is, what obstacles are we going to do to get there? Are we going to do in getting there? Three is, be willing to make the sacrifices that need to be made. Four is the decision to do it. And then just five is just do it. Now, Tom and I created and taught a course on quantum motivation. So what's the advantage of not being motivated to do something? It's to go ahead and it gives you a chance to exercise your self-discipline muscles. And I think that's one of the things that the educational system is struggling with today, is I think a lot of the teachers struggle with being motivated themselves, much less helping to motivate the children. But that's okay if we understand quantum motivation, because we don't need to be motivated to do the right thing. We just need to be disciplined to do the right thing. So there's 5 levels when you say you want something. The first level, and it seems like society is absolutely decimating the entire mind of teachers and the entire mind of students. And so I want to have something. Level 1 is, I want to have it if there's no work, no sacrifice, and no risk required by myself or those around me. So it's a level 1 want. This is what we call a fantasy. This is an illusion. This is a delusion. And so probably in the more advanced one, and the one we'll take more time on after this podcast, explaining this, we'll probably get into the mechanics of it and really, okay, how does this work? Level 2 want is, I want it if little work is required. Okay, I want to get a grade, an A in school, and I'm willing to do a little bit of work. I think for my oldest brother, who was a CPA, or maybe my youngest sister, who's a medical doctor, I think this, in school, I don't know how hard they had to work, especially my youngest sister. I don't know how hard she had to work. My oldest brother, it seemed like it came really easy to him, not so much for me. I just had to work hard. Level 3 is, I want it, and I'm willing to go ahead and work hard. Like, I'm going to be a hard worker, and I'm going to get what I say I want. Level 4 is, I want it, and I'm willing to not only do the required work to get it, but I'm willing to go ahead and make required sacrifices, and I'm willing to take risk. So business owners and entrepreneurs, especially, it's crazy. It's a shame that the educational system diminishes it and demeans it and, does all kinds of crazy stuff to it, probably out of jealousy. But the amount of sacrifices that business owners and entrepreneurs make and the amount of risk that they take, they put it all on the line to go ahead and get what they want. And the highest level of want is I want it and will have it regardless of what is required, i.e., my life vision, what I was created to be. And once we understand what we were created to become, then we can go ahead and then that gives us the energy to go ahead and do what we were created to do. And so a lot of times there's all this stuff in the schools and otherwise that, you get a participation trophy. That's not real life. I mean, I'm not saying it's not real life in the church or in the government or in education, anything big, you can get a participation trophy, but in the real world, that's not how it works. So stick around for the full podcast on this, the discussion on this and going deep and how it connects in. And then, below there'll be some type of, you can get the advanced one. You can find out about how to change education. I think we're going to either need, it's not going to be done by the government. The government's, I'm not saying giving up on the government. I'm just saying, you know what? It just, I don't know. The unions, the teacher unions, yeah, I don't have hope that, one day, many, many years ago, unions were there to benefit because workers were being taken advantage of, by, employers or whatever. Today, it's almost like the unions are taking advantage of, everybody. And the kids in education are getting hurt because of it. And so, um, when we look at this and going in, if you're really, truly interested in changing education, register and join the Life GPS mobile app. And I think it's going to change. The change is going to either come from the teachers or it's going to come from the parents or it's going to come from the students. Any one of those, I think, if we can get any one of those to get it, see the future, actually see into the future and to see what the future is going to be for America and the rest of the world. See what it's going to be for you as a student. Like if students could go ahead and see what their future was, they would rebel against, in a positive way, against the entire educational system that's betraying them. If the parents could really see what their kids and grandkids, could see it, like they could see the future. If the teachers could really see what they were doing and how they were being harmed and how they're harming others unwittingly, they're not purposely, intentionally teaching these things. They're just doing it on accident. So if you have any questions, connect with the individual. Definitely go deep with the more advanced podcast. Or you can call toll free 888-230-2300 outside the U.S. 630-393-9909. And always remember, we can accomplish so much more together than we ever could on our own. Have an amazing day. Bye-bye.